Hey frag heads and fragrance lovers, welcome back. It's good old Benjamin here at the Centaur Fragrance channel. How you doing? What you smell like? What's your scent of the day? Let me know in the comment sections below. Today we're talking about, Roja's Goodman. I think that's how you say it, or Bergdorf Goodman. And this is kind of a custom fragrance or specialty fragrance inspired by the man himself. And this fragrance here is fantastic. Let's talk all about it. Before we do, let's talk, talk about how you can help my channel grow. If you like my content, y'all know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. You've heard it a million times, but it works. That's how my channel grows. That's how things work. Please help me out. Please, show a little love. But let's jump into the fragrance here today. Goodman's. What is this about? So this is a little bit of a fougere fragrance, but it's a little bit different. You do get some citrus off the top, but immediately you get into a floral heart. You got neroli, you got yourself jasmine, you got yourself ylang ylang, and a really unique Mayflower. Now, Mayflower, I haven't smelled it individually yet. I'm actually looking forward to that when I find a new note in the fragrance world, or I've never smelled something. I look forward to smelling it. There's thousands of plants and things that are not used in fragrance, at least not yet. And Mayflower is not something I've really seen before, but this is a fantastic fragrance. There's lime. I like how this green lemon comes through the fragrance. It's one of my favorite things. This is more of a vetiver fragrance coming from Roja. A lot of y'all are vetiver lovers, so I hope that piques your interest. And it is really, really nice. The florals here do come together in more of a white, almost white floral, but more of a clean way. They're not overbearing as a floral goes, and I really like that in this fragrance. Overall, fantastic fragrance release. In the dry down, you get some coriander, adding more of like a woody, spicy, dusty kind of vibe. There's also a little bit of cardamom, and cardamom is so seductive and likable. Y'all know what cardamom can do to a fragrance. It works its magic. And there's also some other woodier tones and some elements, but overall, those are really the biggest notes, and I think they're the most important notes that give this fragrance its personality. I would say this is more of a dry vetiver fragrance, but yet it has lime, and yet it has citruses, and it has florals, so it's not too dry, but it's a very nice fragrance. It is categorized as a fougere. I certainly see that, but this is more of a pseudo fougere, more of a modern fougere. There's not really oak moss or really any of that to my nose that I'm really getting from this fragrance. There's not an overbearing or a lot of geranium or maybe even clary sage to give it a green-like element to this fragrance. Perhaps, but the vetiver does feel perhaps a little bit green, so maybe there's a little bit of greenness in this fragrance, but there's not much of that. It's more of a clean fragrance, and I really like what's going on here. It does smell like a boss, though. I do want to say Rojas do smell clean and often pristine, and they do smell fancy. So if you wear a fragrance like this, you might smell posh. You might smell over the top. People might know that you got money. That might be good or bad, but if you want to represent yourself in a really good way, put your best foot forward. Or maybe you just want to smell it up because you are the boss man at the office. Really good juice here. Performance wise, this one is about a 7-8 hour fragrance. I wanted a little bit more, but for what you get, I think it's quite respectable. I do really like spices, so I wouldn't mind more cardamom. You know me, I wouldn't mind even a little bit more of that coriander snuck up in here. But overall, it's nice. I would like it more warming, but this is more of a fresh, crisp, fragrance that doesn't really depend so much on the lime. It really gets some real crispness and some real freshness by a unique, blend of florals that really, really well done. And I usually don't like jasmine. Honestly, I have to tell y'all, I was a little bit afraid that this was going to be too jasmine-y, but again, this is more on the white side, white floral side of jasmine, and it was blended really well, so it definitely comes through and it works. So that compliment factor, I did go out and about and I did test this on my skin. I did get people's reactions and all that, and I have to say, this one really works on me, at least with my personality. I wanted to show y'all, I'm actually spraying these and testing these. It's beautiful. If you like yourself some sour, slightly, dry and very confident, very bold, more of a floral, again, citrusy vetiver fragrance, this is definitely one to try. This is definitely one to give a chance. Now I do detect maybe a little bit of incense. I'm not really sure what that's coming from to my skin, but there is perhaps a little bit of an incense vibe to this fragrance. And again, this fragrance really blends really well together. I would have liked some of the notes to perhaps getting into my final thoughts. I would have liked some of the notes to really sing more in this fragrance. I would have liked to see the lime punch out of the fragrance a little bit more in the opening. I would have liked the cardamom to be really seductive and really leap out of the mid And in the base, I would have liked, for the vetiver maybe to be a little bit more watery and loud and playful. Overall, though, this smells like a very wealthy, well-to-do man. I do get a little bit of powderiness from this fragrance, which might make it or break it for some people, but there's not a lot of powderiness. It doesn't really, I think, affect the fragrance dramatically, but I know some gentlemen out there despise powdery fragrances or any element that's powdery. So I do want to mention that. Overall, this fragrance is excellent. To me, this is kind of like a guy who's a boss of a regional manager. This to me makes me think of a regional manager, somebody who is kind of leads a whole multiple stores, and he might not be the CEO of the whole company, but he gets things done on a regional level. The distribution of goods, which stores need what, and managing managers and making sure that he's the head of the managers over an area, making sure they do their job and making things work, in that area. So, anyways, this fragrance here absolutely works, and I think that speaks to Roja. Again, I'm happy that I've tried more Roja fragrances recently, and I understand their style, their personalities. They certainly know how to like to do chypres, and they certainly, I think, know how to do them well. Now, that doesn't take away from the price. This is an expensive fragrance. This one's a little bit hard to get. Not everybody's going to have this one, and I don't know how available this one is going to be in the future. I don't know if Roja is using that as a marketing ploy to try to get people to actually buy into their brand, but they do have quite a few that are limited. Some come and some go. Some, they're awfully expensive to begin with, and their limited edition fragrances are even more expensive usually than their normal fragrances. So you're definitely hemorrhaging or spraying money. You're spraying dollar bills with a fragrance like this. It smells like money, but you're also spending that money. So this one, it's probably going to be $500 plus, depending on where you can find it. Maybe you can find a good deal. Maybe you can pay less. Maybe you can pay more. But again, this is a pretty nice vetiver fragrance. It's certainly one of the better ones that I've ever tried. And I do really wish that this fragrance wasn't powdery, though. And I do, again, it's I don't know. It's nice, but I'd certainly think that there's other vetiver fragrances that blow me away. Not only because some of them are fresh and playful with citrus, but other ones because I think the vetiver plays a bigger player. So again, I guess you have to really like the florals got going on here, and you really have to like how the vetiver feels to you. Overall, it's a pretty excellent, fragrance, but I don't think it wasn't perfect. You had a really, really good idea, and again, there's a couple things I would change about it. But who am I to say? Some people say, "Who are you?" or "Who am I?" or "Who is anyone?" to criticize an artist. So give this one a chance, give it a try, see if it works for you, and let me know, what do you think about the House of Roja? I think that they're awfully expensive for what they are. I do think that some of them are excellent quality, and I do think that some of them are beautiful. This one's pretty good. It's one of the better ones that I've liked so far. I don't know if I would say it's my favorite, but it's certainly one of the better ones that I've tried from Roja, and it's a pretty darn clean fragrance for what it is. So anyways, Goodman's or Bergdorf Goodman from the House of Roja. Hope that you enjoyed my review of this fragrance today, and if you liked it, if you like what I got going on, if you're here at the end of the video, you probably enjoyed my content. So why don't you help me out down below? You know exactly how to do that. You've heard it a million times. So I'll see you soon, everybody. Wear what you love. Find the fragrances that you love. Rock what you got. You don't have to buy new fragrances, but of course, we as frag heads are always looking for the next best thing. And I'll see you soon, everybody. Wear what you love. Rock what you got. Stay safe and beautiful out there. I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching my video. I'll peace out, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.